everyone, welcome to the post-game show. Hopefully this one actually works. Last post-game show that we filmed, there was an audio error, so I could never post it. So it was cool, and I didn't know what we thought about the game, but it was good. And so once again, we'll give them a few seconds to leave. It was a... who won?
It was a Blood Angel victory.
It was a Blood Angel victory. And what did we learn today?
Knights are scary.
Death Company are scary.
Death Company is scary. Though, I mean, Death Company really bring numbers to the table. Mm-hmm. You can have good rounds of saves and bad rounds of saves. And I think in this game we really saw the gambit of it.
Yeah.
We had some bad saves on your side towards the end, and we had some Belial's company. They had a rabbit foot, and they just hung on, which actually probably helped me some.
It might have. As we were saying, it might have hurt you, might have helped you. If you killed them, I figured you were going to bounce away.
Yeah.
Which, if I could have caught you, it would have been different. To me, the biggest thing that ended up snowballing the entire game was that early on, my Deathwing failed to charge. And if they were...
one squad.
That one squad. And that squad probably would have hurt your Death Company pretty bad. Mm-hmm. And that Death Company ended up being the bane of my nemesis, like being my bane of my existence.
Yep.
So that would have hurt. Maelstrom War. I like Maelstrom War. And the thing is, people do say it's about luck. But to be fair, luck favors the prepared. And I really did like your strategy of just camping 3 things in the back.
Yeah.
Because if I got any, especially with this mission, because if I got any of those cards, or you got any of those cards, you just scored them.
Yeah, this mission was, I think, mainly for the Maelstrom of War missions, you really have to be a little bit kind of flexible, mm-hmm. ready to bounce around on whatever, except for this one mission. I think this one really favors camping on, because then you're not only are you denying your opponent, but you're providing that additional opportunity yourself on your turn.
Especially the fact that we can't drop those cards. If we get one, like I got, in the end we did the math, and I drew 10 cards in this game, 6 of which you scored. 5 or 6.
5
of them you scored, and then 5 of them had no appeal to me whatsoever.
Yeah.
So it was like, for me, my cards weren't favorable at all, but then on top of that, because you were camping on your objectives, every time I picked up an unfavorable card, you were just like, point for me.
Yeah. I think this one might have had a little bit more to do with luck, in that we couldn't get rid of the cards that objectives that we weren't going to be able to go for ourselves. You had to hold on to those. So then that limited what you could discard out of your hand, and that discard is one of the mechanics that really balance the numbers of the game.
Yeah, because exactly. It's a, I wouldn't say double-edged sword. It's just like extra stab, because every time we got a card that didn't apply to us, we couldn't get rid of it, and it helped our opponent.
Yep.
Versus usually we could get rid of it, and it had no purpose for our opponent.
Yeah, and I think for this one in particular, and you saw it by the numbers, by me being able to claim 5 of your cards. Mm-hmm. By me having more units spread out, having more opportunity to claim things, I was able to really optimize on that. Now, the one nice thing with that then is there was a lot of times where you were drawing entirely new hands.
Yeah.
They just weren't good ones.
Yeah, that's true. I was drawing new hands. They were really, exactly. They just weren't beneficial. For me, the reason why I wanted to get my knight in the center of the table was I was hoping that if he survived, I was hoping to bounce him if need be between the objectives. Because he can do a 12-inch move plus 3d6 run. He could get any objective on the board.
Yeah.
But he had to be dealt with, and unfortunately, eventually he got dealt with. And the way that you killed him was awesome. You got 2 attacks.
Yeah.
Both hit, a pen and a glance.
Yeah.
And
that was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he was the he was the focal point of most of my army for most of the game. Hmm. Turn 1 was taking out Belial, mostly, and after that, actually, one of the things I noticed with the cards, a lot of I did get a number of cards from the Blood Angel deck when they had to kill things in Assault, and I kept on killing things in Assault on your turn.
Yeah.
Which then I couldn't use those cards. Ended up actually discarding them.
Yeah, and that happened to me too. I didn't get any of the assault cards, but every time I won a combat, it was in your phase.
Yeah.
In my phase.
In your phase.
In my phase. So I never got to respond, and I was always like, oh, I'm going to win in my phase, and then you just re-jump me with in the next squad. I never got to bounce out on your turn and then re-assault. But it was cool. Yeah, a lot of fun. Anything you would have done differently?
You know, keeping the Sanguinor back a little bit. I was really kind of keen on trying to recreate some of the bubble effects, so having Corbulo and having Sanguinor, and them both radiating out that bonus. But geez, the Sanguinor is just so fragile. He's got 3 wounds. He's got 4 up, or toughness 4, and then he's got the 2+ save, and it's just not enough to keep him alive. Not against any kind of focused attack.
No. And best part is I only shot him because he was the only thing in range. It was... It wasn't even target priority. Yeah, for me, my list build was tough in this particular scenario because I had to drop in my guys. And as we discussed, Deathwing, once they're on the table, they're not very mobile.
Yeah.
They're very slow. And so I decided to drop in my grounds because I don't want to be as aggressive. Because if I dropped on your side, I would have just given you, like, feeding you squads because the Death Company alone would have been able to wipe off anything I dropped in your zone.
Yeah.
And so I kept in my back. But unfortunately, one of my guys, I think it was just, I scattered, no, I guess I placed Belial too close in. I didn't realize how close, I thought they would do more shooting, I guess. And all your Death Company got in assault turn 2, or turn 1.
You know, though, we didn't get to see it in this game, but even the scouts are kind of scary in the assaults, especially if they get the Corbulo and Sanguinor buff. Them themselves probably could have taken out a Terminator squad each.
Wow. And technically, those scouts were MVPs anyway, because they just sat at your back and you got the majority of your points by these 50-point squads.
Yeah, I think I probably got at least 5 or 6 points by those 2 squads just by camping out. Yeah, they were really great.
Yeah, Corbulo's buff did well the first round, but then after that, it was just too hard to keep the bubble going.
Sanguinor, you know, if nothing else, just having that first round of weapon skill, initiative 5, 6 attack each on the charge, Death Company going in. It just, and you can see it in the battle report, but just the mound of dice that you're tossing down. But, you know, having Astaroth the Grim with them too, probably would have served out, probably would have been better long term.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Or maybe Lamarty's.
Lamarty's? Maybe.
He would have been kind of fun.
He would have been fun.
Yeah. Corbulo, he was good too. He just drove around his Land Raider, had a good time.
Yep.
Survived. My favorite part was the apocalyptic explosion.
Yeah.
Which that just, and then I rolled a 6. That was awesome. It just killed everything.
But even with any of them, I mean, you go through it and you're looking at strength D, best case scenario. So, I mean, even once you do take out one of the knights, once you have one of those come out, geez, that's a lot to deal with.
Yeah, it is. That was a great game. So thank you very much once again. It was awesome playing against you. So you got to get him down again sometime. So definitely stay tuned for more battle reports. Luckily, this one will hopefully be this post game will exist, and that's good. Check. Yeah, sounds good. So I don't know why, but the sound cut out halfway through about our post game.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Okay.
So thank you very much once again. Until next time, this is Jay and
Dave.
One in every 4 must be named Dave. Happy painting.